G'day guys, you're back with MiracleMAX. Are you excited? Guess what today's job is? I've got a little Yamaha PeeWee 80. It's got a no start condition. So let's check it out, see if we can get it going. This little PeeWee was bought into me a while ago now, but they'd actually left it up against a post out in a paddock for 2 odd years. To get it here, they actually had to cut out all the weeds, etc., through the wheels. They couldn't physically pull it out, they had to cut it out. And the back tyre was absolutely flat, knackered. The valve assembly itself had pulled through the tube, so the back tyre was absolutely flat as a tack. But the main problem was the thing wouldn't start. So here's a bit more of an example of the lack of maintenance that it's had. Check it out. There's a whole family of spiders caught in there. So it gives you an idea of what the rest of the bike's like. So I've actually got it up and running now, but I'm going to run through the process with you because I didn't film it at the time. Just to give you a heads up on the diagnostic path that I used. Where should I start first? Well, have a think about it. 2 years in a paddock. What's going to be the first thing you look at? Well, of course, stale fuel. So just undo the cap, have a... Oh my God, what is that smell? It smells like off moonshine or something. Yep, stale fuel. It's a killer every time. And have a think about it. If it's stale in the tank, where else is it stale? Well, of course, the carby. So not only did I drain the carby, but also the needle and seat was stuck, so I had to clean that up. I blew out all the jets. Cleaned out everything that was related to fuel. It still would not start. Fuel changed, carby clean. We turn it to on, it should start. So maybe it's a spark plug issue. Am I getting spark? Let's check it. There are several different methods that we can use to check for spark. The method I'm using, I'll show you a couple of methods. The method I'm using right now is I'm leaving in the original spark plug. Just for ease, that's all. I've hooked up my lead to just a random spark plug, and notice the size of the gap that I've got on there. It's quite big, isn't it? Reason it's done like that is if it can jump that gap, then it should be fine. As long as it's blue, we're looking for a blue spark, and then I've got an alligator clip on here and on a lead which goes just earthed out here, as you can see with my other one. So it's just a lead that continues all the way through. So we should be looking for a blue spark at this particular point. Let's have a look. And yes, believe it or not, there is a blue spark there. I've now removed the spark plug out of the cylinder, and that'll just make it easier to turn over and show you guys if I have spark or not. The other method is okay, but on camera it was just a little bit difficult to show you what it looked like. So I'm in the on position now. And you can see there, nice blue spark. Another method you can use to check for spark is just by sticking in a screwdriver. Make sure you've got a good insulated handle there, straight into the plug lead. What you're going to do is create your own spark plug gap. Now you know the gap that's on the spark plug there, that little fella there. Well, we're going to create that by holding it just away from some metal form there, which is going to be the head here, the cooling fins. And I've pulled out the spark plug purely for making it easier to film. So we turn it on and we just give it a kick, and you watch the spark there. It should be nice and blue. Nice blue spark. So while the gap etc on this older spark plug is not had it or anything like that, because of the age of the bike and the lack of maintenance that's been provided to it, I decided to fit a new spark plug. So what's next? Well, maybe it's a blocked air filter, not allowing air to get in to mix with the fuel. So we'll just see if we can pop that out. Here's the filter, and I've already cleaned it with petrol and put a very, very light smear of thin grade oil on it. So I know that's not the problem. What else could it be? Remember I said that it had a lot of stale fuel in there? So maybe it's a fuel problem still. Maybe if we give it a little bit of a squirt of the home brew, that should help. Let's give that a try. No, still nobody home. Time to look further. Perhaps it's got a compression issue. Maybe it's a mechanical fault. who knows? So I've popped in my compression gauge, and we'll set that up and see what sort of compression we get when I crank it over there. Let's have a look at that. Okay, 75, that seems a little bit low to me. I don't know, what do you think? So as you can see, I've done some of the basic checks with this little PeeWee. It has been giving me a bit of grief, and I'll be honest with you, I'm no expert when it comes to two-stroke motorbikes. But I had a friend come over the other day, and he and his boys have been into two-strokes for ages, and he really knows his stuff. So we sat down, had a bit of a yarn together. I asked if I could pick his brains, and he said, "Have you checked this?" "Yes, I have." "Have you checked this?" "Yes, I have." "Have you checked this?" "Yes, I have." I even went and checked the reed valves to make sure that they weren't stuck shut. That does happen in the two-strokes. He said, "Oh, one other thing, have you checked the exhaust?" And I said, "Well, I was going to pop the exhaust off just to see what it was like." And he goes, "These two have a bit of a problem when they're left out in the paddock." Do you want to know what it was? He said these can become very easily blocked. In fact, all he did was grab a screwdriver and stick it right up the pipe there. And sure enough, guess what came out? It was a mud wasp nest. It was chockers, I didn't even realise it. But you couldn't see it from the outside anyway, it was only on the inside. Once he cleared that blockage, it was no problem. I didn't realise that it was an issue where we come from. We don't have that problem. But over here, there certainly appears to be a common fault with them. So what we have here is a bad case of gaseous constipation. That's right, you know the old saying, what goes in must come out. And in this particular case, we weren't getting our exhaust to come out, were we? We had gases coming in, but because of that blockage, it couldn't come out. So after a bit of a mechanical enema, we have flow back again. Our air-fuel mixture can come in the front here into our engine, and then of course those burnt exhaust gases can come out the back. So the all-important question remains, does the thing start? Let's check it out.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
And now, of course, for that all-important road test. Well, it's certainly easy to get caught by some curly ones that you come across occasionally. I must admit I haven't seen a wasp's nest in an exhaust before. New one for me, but certainly a learning curve. Finally, we've got some rain coming in. The rainwater tanks are crying out for it, but it's still humid as here, guys. I'm still sweating like a schmitzver here. So if you did enjoy today's video, guys, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button if you haven't already. Give it a like and feel free to comment down below. And don't forget about that notification bell. You don't want to miss any future videos. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, this is MiracleMAX signing off. I'll catch you later.